the church. And we are also concluding our Ministry Spotlight series, where we ask ministry leaders or participants from across all of the ministries within the parish to speak. So as those two things come together, we have first to speak from the chanters, Thano Prokos, followed by our choir director, Melanie Berbulis. Thano?
Good morning, everyone. The chanter's job is to help the people pray. This is what my friend and fellow chanter, Bill Deliganis, would tell me every time I asked him what being a chanter is like. He may not know it, but Bill was the one who helped me start my journey to the chanter stand long before I was ever brave enough to sing in public. When I was 7 and attending church on January 18th for my name day, Bill was the one who invited me to come into the altar. Like many things that I tried first, that first day involved me getting my feet wet before diving headfirst into altar serving. At first, I just watched Father Chris preside over the liturgy, and eventually I carried a candle, and then a bigger candle, and then slowly but surely I started coming up to the chanter stand to read our liturgical prayers, starting with the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father, then the Creed, and then eventually the communion prayers, and then even some small psalms during Holy Week. I bring this story up not just because my time serving in the altar helped me spark some interest in chanting within me, but also because, like chanting, this is a story of being seen by a fellow member of the church, being trusted with real responsibility, and being empowered to use that responsibility to gradually and intentionally get to know Christ. There's a lot of technical learning at the chanter stand. For example, I frequently learned that I tend to sing flat, and am in need of gentle yet frequent correction from my very excellent and talented chanting teacher. Thank you, Costa. On a more serious note, the chanting stand is probably the best place to learn the theology of the church, because this is where holy tradition is written and vocalized. And it wasn't until I became a chanter and got the opportunity to actually take the time to listen to the hymns that we sing and begin to learn them myself little by little that I started to notice many details during the liturgy and every service that would constantly make the faith that we practice feel new and alive. For instance, if you ever come to Orthros, you'll hear us read something called the Synaxarion. The Synaxarion is just a list of the specific feasts that are celebrated each day. Sometimes you'll learn something about a feast that's well known that you already know. For example, if you come during Theophany, you'll hear all about the rivers changing their course during the Synaxarion. But sometimes, and more interestingly, you'll learn about feasts and saints that you never even knew existed. My favorite, of course, being Saint Galasios the Mime, or today's feast of the frightful yet edifying vision of Saint Cosmas the Monk. And if you get a chance, read it, because it's absolutely wild. But of course, the best theology I've learned from chanting was being able to make something beautiful in community. If you ever make it to church during one of the August Paraklesis services or to one of the Lenten salutation services to the Theotokos, you'll typically hear the chanter sing a very famous hymn during the dismissal. It's called in English, O Virgin Pure, or Agni Parthena in Greek, or as I like to call it, it's the Stairway to Heaven of Orthodox church music. For the past 2 years, we've been blessed to have voices, in addition to the typical black-robed voices you hear on most Sundays chant these services, and hymn with us. During these services, we've been blessed with a left-side women's choir led by Presbytera and Irini and Katerina Stavropoulos, as well as our right-wing men's choir. After the service, though, our two choirs become one and are eagerly joined by all 4 Bosnos children. And try as I can't put into words the very palpable excitement that all of us share when we sing together, when we work together to offer something beautiful, and when we accomplish something together, when we get better and more in harmony together, and when we offer the dismissal's final note, and we feel that peaceful, perfect, indescribable stillness that you can only receive when offering talents to God and allowing Him to bless it and give it back to you. And the moral of the story isn't that just the chanter stand is a place where you can learn more prayers, though you can, or learn more beautiful music, though you can, or even learn to be a little less passive and more active in church, although, like I said, it's certainly all of those things. In truth, it goes back to the chanter's job, to help the people pray. I'd consider myself to be very lucky if I've helped someone pray even a little bit while they're coming to church. But in reality, the support that we receive, the patience, trust, and validation that we receive as chanters has been my greatest help. It's the support in stepping outside of myself and being part of something bigger and more beautiful that only God could make happen. Thank you.